I'd like to start by saying it's truly an honor to present the now first Nibsy Ryan Award to a friend I met nearly 52 years ago when I was 7 and he was 4 years old. Our mothers would bring us along to the bowling league on Tuesday afternoon, and we became friends running around the bowling center. We attended Our Lady of Lourdes Grammar School, played basketball for our school as he followed behind me a few years. In baseball, we both played the position of catcher, a unique bond that only other catchers in this room would understand. We attended Bishop Ludden High School and followed similar paths. Eventually, we both became officials. We currently live about a quarter mile from each other as the crow flies. Anyway, I think you get the picture of our history. I believe that he looked up to me when he was a young kid. Later in life, I would find myself looking up to him. This recipient started officiating at a fairly young age in 1991. It quickly moved up the ranks of Board 38 with excellent mechanics and a strong court presence. The supervisors and coaches saw his ability on the floor and rewarded it. He worked top varsity games, including sectional and sectional finals, while still in his 20s. He later moved on to officiate many high-profile sectional, regional, and state championship games. Also on his resume were playoff, league, championship, and NCAA tournament games at the Division II and III level. He even had the privilege to officiate the Division III NCAA National Championship game a few years ago. He was a strong contributor to Board 38 off the court, serving on the executive committee for 4 years as the parliamentarian, participated on many committees throughout several years, and on the membership and development committee as he mentored many new officials. This official has been top-notch throughout his career. Not only was he a great official, he was a great partner on and off the floor. I started officiating a few years after him, and he was a great help and resource to me in the development of my officiating career. As I mentioned before, I find myself looking up to him. As I followed his footsteps, and we ended up working many games together and had a lot of fun. Bottom line, a great official, a great partner, a great mentor, a great contributor to Board 38, and a great choice for the first ever Nibsy Ryan Silver Whistle Award. Congratulations goes to Ed Donohue.
Tough night. John, thanks so much. Coming from somebody I've known for over 50 years, really is something special. Thank you for that introduction, really. I got to thank Board 38. Such a tremendous, I didn't know it was going to be Nibsy's name, but tremendous honor to receive the first one with your name on it. This is, to be added to that list is unbelievable. Probably got to thank a few people. First and foremost, my family. I got 2 boys, Kevin and Shane, and my wife is here tonight. She has been unbelievably supportive in my officiating career. For 30 years, she's only made me turn in 1 game. Little story. It just happened to be my very first Holy War, Blood and CBA. And I actually had 2 games that day. We did do double baggers back then. I had a 4 o'clock game at my alma mater, Our Lady of Lourdes, and then I had to do Ludden at CBA that night. And if it wasn't for the fact that the Amory's water broke 12 hours prior to my doing my modified game at 4 o'clock, it might have had a factor in why I had to turn it in. But there's a common theme tonight, and the next person I have to thank is John Sherlock, and so we're in the hospital. My wife's in labor, and I got to make a phone call. So 9 o'clock in the morning, this is the middle of the night, we go to the hospital. And I get there, 9 o'clock, I got a call, John Sherlock. Hi, Mr. Sherlock. At Donohue. And like we said before, his tone and his voice. Edward. Well, Mr. Sherlock, I got some good news and I got some bad news. And he says, if you're calling me right now, it's all bad news. You know, John gave me the opportunity to develop as a young official. He gave me great games, great partners, and they're all sitting in this room. He was like a father. Chuck, I think you said that. He was like a father. He wanted you to know the importance of the decisions you made, but there was no one prouder when he saw a young official get better. And he just had that way about him to show you that he was very proud of what you accomplished. And we the envelopes, you know, we used to get the envelopes for the schedule. And you know, the first thing we do, look it up. Oh, what game do I got? Ooh, did I get the big game? Did I get, even when you're provisional, looking if you got the big JV game of that night, you know. But Nibsy Ryan says to me when I was first coming up, he said, you know, when you first get your schedule, yeah, you're going to look at that big game. But the most important thing you need to look at is your partner. Who's your partner? So I kind of remember a lot of my first things. You know, I remember the first time I went, after you passed the test, you went to a floor thing and he kind of told you how to hold your hand. Billy Hepler was this, he taught us how to hold our hand up in the air, how to blow a whistle, how to call a travel. My first game ever was a Salve modified game with Chuck McGee. My first JV game was at Cato Meridian with the late Timmy Sprague. My first varsity game with our current assigner, Mike Preston. My first college game was at Elmira College with Jim Magnarelli. But I guess there's a lot of people Murph, with all the friendships I've had, the one person I really, really need to thank, and he's not, unfortunately not here, is Gary Bova. Gary Bova not only taught me how to referee, but he taught me what it was to be a referee. And that's just something that he had a quality about him to give to you. He taught you how to do the job. And his mentorship got me this award, but his friendship is probably what means the most to me. And if I can leave you guys with anything, and John said it, just be a good partner. That was what I told the young guys. Just be a good partner. And just strive to be the official that if next year when somebody opens their schedule and they see your name on it, they say to themselves, man, I'm glad I got that game, but I'm even more glad that he's on that game with me. So this is unbelievable, and I just gotta say thank you.